Richie Rich Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Ones and twos, baby. It's your boy Trucker Richie Rich. Let's have some conversations, man. I got an opinion about something. I got something to share with you guys. Tell me what you think. I recently watched one of my favorite YouTuber channels, Tim Travels, and I saw that Prime canceled his contract, or better yet, Terry canceled his contract with Prime over a student. These students are issues, you know. I want to give some advice, not to Terry, but to Prime, if I could, if they would listen to me, which I doubt. You know, I wonder if anybody who's upstairs or in charge of training actually train students, or actually been in situations where they train students, or was even a over-the-road trucker. I don't know, you know, because some of the things that happened to some of the people I know, it didn't seem like they were trucker friendly, you know. So I want to give my opinion, man. I'm here to get unloaded, and I want to give my opinion while I can, while I'm thinking about it. So here it is. If Prime would have listened to me, right, which I know they won't, but if they did, this is some good advice, okay? Students, okay, the way Prime runs their system, right, 50,000 miles, I think they should change that and maybe do 1,000 hours, or maybe 800 hours required for students to get off the truck. Now listen to my method to my madness, the way I say it. When I was at Prime, I had issues with students too, that once they got through that PTS phase, they got real lazy and real uncooperative. And see, they knew that they were getting that $1,400 to $1,500 a week, regardless if they drove or not, regardless if they put any effort into finishing the program. And I just think that promotes laziness out of truckers, out of truck drivers, you know. They're like, look, I still get my pay regardless if I run miles or not, or if I work hard or not, or if I'm motivated or not. I hate to give these folks flowers, but I have to say, when I trained at Stevens for 7 years, right, they have a 240-hour requirement. So the incentive for the student to get off the truck was to work. I used to have students literally run their whole 10-hour clock down to 1 minute every day. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you a story of a student that I had that was homeless, and he was hurry up and he wanted to run his clock and get done with training so he can get his wife on the truck with him so they can both live on the truck. And he actually got me in trouble one day because they have a requirement at Stevens that you have to let the truck stop for 8 hours on the dot. It can't be 7 hours and 55 minutes. It can't be 7 hours and 59 minutes. It has to be 8 hours of the truck stop. And so I told the student to drive at a particular time. Let's say I told him to start driving at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, the student was so motivated, he started driving at 9:55, thinking that he was, you know, doing the right thing, and I was in the back sleeping. Later on that night, I got a call from Stevens, and I got routed to the yard, and I was suspended for 2 days. The student felt pretty bad about it, but I wasn't mad at him about it. Maybe mad at Stevens for being petty, but, you know, Prime, if you took my advice, right, I would tell you to change that aspect of training, because listening to Terry's video, I'm sure you heard that narrative a whole lot. Students who just don't want to work. I had a student, his name was Michael. He was from Houston, Texas. And he says to me one day, he says, Rich, if you only drive 5 hours a day, I'm going to drive 5 hours. If you're going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know, as if this was our truck. Okay? It wasn't. He was in training. If I only drove 5 hours a day, it wasn't because I was being a lazy truck driver. It's because my student couldn't follow directions. I had to stay up and watch him. Okay? Then he got lazy on me. Then we got into an argument, and then I put him off the truck. And that brings me to another thing, right? Prime, when you have a student and a trainer who don't get along, it's torture making them stay in the truck together. It leads to a hostile situation. You know, you should be able to put these guys on a Greyhound or drop them off at a truck stop, get them a hotel room, and get them back to the yard without having to burden the trainer. Okay? I am sure the war stories that you have heard are crazy between trainers and trainees at Prime, because that is hostility. You know, a few weeks ago, I uploaded a video about a student who had murdered his trainer because they got into a disagreement. He crawled down from the top bunk, stabbed him in the multiple times, and fled. They caught him, and he's doing life in prison, but still, it leads to a hostile, tumultuous relationship. I wouldn't co-sign it. Also, Prime, you should stop having trainers who are on your lease side pay for students. Okay? This market doesn't support that. Now, I understand that's a method to your madness, right? But when I was at Prime, they were giving raises to students who didn't deserve them. They went from what, $600 a week to $800 a week to now $1,200 a week to now as high as $1,400 a week. Okay, what has the student done to prove that? What have they done to prove themselves that they earned that? I know this is not the current market we're in and not the current time, but when I started truck driving as a trainee, I made $250 a week. I had to earn a good paycheck. I had to go through the burning sands of life as a trucker to be justified to earn over $1,000 a week. Okay, they're giving it to students. They didn't earn it. So, like I said, if Prime were listening to me, right, which I know they won't, because I'm just some random guy on YouTube and I don't have that much of an audience. But if they did listen to me, you know, there are some things about training I will change, and it's the entitlement that these students have that you give them. You know, listen to Terry's story. I truly believe him. He's been working for Prime for over, what, 4 or 5 years? 4 years, 5 years? You know? And he had a problem with a student he couldn't get rid of. So, you know, those would be my my recommendations if Prime were to listen. I mean, why are we paying students out of what we make? I think Prime should set the tone, $700, $800 a week, and you pay that. You know, that will help a lot. I mean, in a terrible market, that would give first of all, you would give an incentive to be a trainer if you're making great money as a lease op, you know, and you didn't have to pay the guy, and when he didn't want to work, it's on him. If he didn't want to drive, it's on him. Because, you know, he would need hours to complete. And if he didn't do it, then it's on him. That training needs an overhaul. Needs a huge overhaul. And it shouldn't be penalizing the trainer. You know, when I trained at Prime and at Wilson, a few times my student made more money than me. Okay? Why does a trainer have to sacrifice his livelihood for that? And here's a kicker. A lot of students argued that I was making them drive too much. Rich, I'm working too much. You're just driving 500 miles a day, sir. They didn't want to do it. So, you know, I understand that we're in a competitive market. And Prime, you don't need to be competitive. You're supposed to be the best. You don't need to compete out here with nobody. Working for Prime is a flex already. Prime's a great company. You know, their pay structure is great. Their facilities are great. You know, like I said, it was one of the best companies I ever worked for. So let that be your selling point, okay? Don't do the thing, like change the training, change it, okay? 50,000 miles, listen, make it 2,000 hours, okay? Let these students have an incentive to drive. Let them say, look, I got to drive my hours. Let them get that in their mental, because I had a lot of students come out here who were like, I don't have to do anything. I can give you the bare minimum effort and still get my $1,300 to $1,400 a week. And a lot of students just cruised through training. Okay, they had entitlement issues, and then once you have personnel issues, you know, they say that they're your employee, but you don't have any control over them. Prime does. Prime changed the training standards, sirs. Okay, I'm really wondering if any of the executives or anybody who's making these decisions actually driven a truck or been a trainer themselves. Then you will understand the frustration and, you know, the heartache some of these trainers go through out here. Okay, you're teaching a guy a new skill and you're paying him top dollar for it. Okay, change that, man. Change it. You know, I would. You know, but once again, I'm a guy on the internet, and it's already been proven Prime doesn't listen to their drivers a lot. Okay. So anyway, peace and love, and I'm sorry that Terry went through that. I saw his video. You guys who watch me, go watch his channel. It's Tim Travels. I believe everything he's saying because it's not the first time I heard that. Okay, that's why I don't doubt what he's saying. I've been through that. I had that same experience. You know, I had trainees jump truck, leave without telling me. I had trainees not want to work, not want to drive. I had trainees who were entitled. This is our truck, and I'm paying all the bills. Okay, Prime, I would change it, man, and I would do it now while the market's shitty. I would do it now, because if the market's crappy now, and you understand that people want to drive trucks, okay, the barrier to entry to drive a truck is low, so people are going to show up and come. Okay, it's not going to take away from them wanting to go work for CRST or fucking CR England. Prime is one of the best companies out here. Okay, the potential money you can make here on the lease side is great, but in the same hindsight, okay, you're putting pressure and strains on your trainers. Okay, I need Prime to give a F. Okay, give a F. It's a great company, but you lose good people over shit like this. So anyway, my subscribers, go check out Tim Travels' channel and his last two videos, and you know, he's telling a lot of truth. He is. So anyways, I hope he bounces back on his feet. Unfortunately, in trucking, you lose a good few dogs, man. You lose a good few people to bullshit. That whole situation could have been salvaged. It could have been. Okay, so, you know, do I think fleet managers at Prime have too much power? Yeah, yes they do. Yes they do. They shouldn't get rid of their trainers and truck drivers off of whims. You know, they have too much power, too much juice. Okay, because at the end of the day, no company is successful out here. No trucking company is not successful out here without drivers. You know, last time I checked, fleet managers and driver managers sit up in the office. They got soda machines up there. They even got a cappuccino machine up there. Their restrooms are very clean. There's somebody cleaning them all the time. They have lunch-ins. They have access to food. They have a gym. They got a daycare there. They got a massage parlor down there, a barbershop. I mean, that would be awesome, man, if I had that every day. Instead of going to a porta potty, or instead of going to I went to a truck stop last night that was filthy. Okay? Truck drivers experience a lot out here, man. A lot of bad. So fleet managers to have a whim to do that to a guy who's worked for your company for 4 years, loyalty to you is unacceptable. Okay? Unacceptable. He should have been given more of the benefit of the doubt. Okay? But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet who has an opinion and nobody listens to. Anyway, peace and love, y'all, and then I'll be back to y'all. I got to continue my series about companies I used to work for. I kind of got a little off on a tangent, but I will get back to you, and I will make more videos. I just, I was a little disheartened to hear that. I mean, listen, trainees out here cause trainers lose your job is just not acceptable. Okay, you know, it's all negative there. Peace.